Shalom, Laha Alahayim, peace to the gods. Nawathan, Kal, Halalim La, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash, giving all praises to Yahweh, in the name Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit, double honors unto the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the heads and elders of all the camps of Great Millstone, GMS, who do rule well, who I've learned this 100% truth from, who are the true leaders of all Yasha Allah, Israel today, whether you can receive it or not. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the tabernacle of David, the Bayath Dawada, all right, the predestined spirits of election scattered abroad, starting with the co-heirs of Yahushua and the kingdom to come, the governing body, the 144,000, 12,000 men of each tribe of Israel, the prophets, as well as the innumerable multitudes scattered abroad of men, women, and children, including the 1/3 here in Babylon the Great, which is America, all right, pursuant to prophecy, all right, those rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of their ability through the faith of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Tazapanya of the GMS Washington, D.C. camp, Lord willing, Adawan Ratazah. This is edifying unto the elect. This is a continuation. I didn't feel satisfactory of my 6-minute video. I just hope that it was edifying in the time being. I was a little excited and I did a quick video, so I'm gonna do it a little longer one. You know, I'll try to make it again under 20 minutes. I feel like that's usually be sufficient to get to the point. The scriptures say not to, have many words. All right, roughly paraphrasing in Ecclesiasticus. But we're gonna get right into it. So we're gonna talk about two topics. All right, first topic being the one that I said earlier. All right, where he's saying now he's going to do an executive order to declare national emergency day one. And we're talking about Nero here, the president-elect, all right, the king of Babylon, the cruel lord, maybe, we'll see, all right, when he get in there to have military support, okay, in order to round up 20 million or odd so whatever number of so-called, illegal immigrants, migrants, aliens, whatever you want to call them, all right? How he's going to do that, I don't know. How much money he's going to cost to do that, I don't know. But we know that things is going to get critical, all right, regardless of the matter, all right? Who knows how that's going to look like, and we're just going to continue to watch, us as the watchmen. Now, on the other hand, you got him saying some off-the-wall shit, talking about how he gonna stop World War III. How you gonna stop the counsel of the Lord, man? You see, and then these so-called Christians are really anti-Christians. Okay, these wacky tacky plantation, all right, anti-Christians claim to be in the Bible, all right, worshiping that white JC character, all right, Caesar Borgia, all right, Serapis Christus, okay, and want to vote for, which is to have a solemn oath unto a god. When you look up the etymology of the word vote, to this Nero, Emperor Nero Trump, right, as if he's going to stop it and believe that, when the same Bible you claim to be living and reading and so on and so forth says that World War III is going to happen. So without further ado, we're going to get into it, filter it out through the scriptures.
A 2-week period there of this like quiet little lull, and most all of you were saying it. You're saying it in the comments. I've had so many people say it to me privately, personally, face to face. I've said it, that don't get caught up in that nice peaceful quiet, because it's going to turn around, and it already has been. Several things going on. Number one, North Korea saying that they're probably going to send, or could send, up to 100,000 troops into Russia to fight alongside with Russian troops against Ukraine, and very possibly, likely, maybe, NATO. They've already sent, I don't know, 10, 15, 20,000, depends on the source that you find, not a real clear number. But there's reports that they are already fighting alongside Russian troops against Ukrainians. Ukraine has stated that they've already engaged with them. United States has been flying.
So look, North Korea already sent troops, and they're thinking about sending what? Let's just say 10,000, another 10 times more, 100,000 troops. Come on, man, you can't make this shit up, bro. This is the book of Joel 3. If this iPad would work, if not, I will get the sword, pull it out, the true sword. This is so now online content is currently unavailable. What's going on? Salakia, bear with me. Trying to get matter of fact, yeah, I'm gonna just get it because that shit is acting up. Because you got North Korea sending troops over there, all right, and at the end of the day, it's all gonna lead to, as we know, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. All these nations, all right, gonna be planted out there in the Arabian desert, man, as the scriptures say. All right, the Valley of Decision, okay, Valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, right? This is the book of Joel. I just had it. There you go, Joel, chapter 3, and verse. Let's do verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. All right, these are the natural born Gentiles, non-Israelites. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all of the men of war draw near. Let them come up. All right. And this is just a step, all right, unto them sending troops down there into West Asia, falsely so-called the Middle East, man. Okay, continuing on.
B-52 bombers over the Middle East near Iran, trying to kind of send a message there. Yesterday, Biden and his administration announced that they were allowing Ukraine to have full permission to use missile systems that we gave them, that the West gave them, to strike deep inside of Russia. And of course, that's probably the biggest thing right now, because Russia's made it clear up until now, and then again yesterday, they reiterated it, that if that happens, that they would consider that being that NATO and the West has declared war against Russia.
So we are already in World War III. If you don't know, now you know. All right. So Putin, right? The leader of Russia, all right, Gog from the land of Gog, right, or Magog, right? What's the name? Already said that if the Babylon give the green light for Ukraine to use missiles or American-made weaponry for Ukraine to shoot it deep inside of Russia territory, like Moscow or whatever, that's a declaration of war. All right, now we already been in war, but now it's getting to the point where it's like, yo, it's declared now. All right, so see, the vision is speaking. Matter of fact, let's go to that. Let's go to Habakkuk. All right, this is the book of Habakkuk. Boom. Habakkuk chapter 2. All right, in verse 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. That vision is the prophecies. All right. But at the end, it shall speak. And we're at the end of Esau's rulership. 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 9. All right. For Esau is the end of the world. All right. World being from the Latin eon, meaning the age of rulership. All right. So at the age of his rulership, the prophecies is going to speak. All right. Meaning that it's going to jump off the pages, so to speak. You're going to be able to see it, all right, as you in it. That's 2nd Esdras chapter 9, verse 1. All right, measure the time thou diligently in itself. So when you in it, you're going to be able to be like, aha, you know, not that's how Amalek with that aha. Salaki, I don't mean to use that type of term, but like, yo, oh, there you go. Yeah, that's prophecy being fulfilled. We get into that time. You feel me? It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. All right. See, the Most High is not a man that he shall lie, right? Because his word doesn't go out void, as the scriptures say in Isaiah. Though it tarry, all right, though it takes its time, wait for it. Because we're supposed to be waiting patiently for the Lord, like it says in the book of Lamentations. It says, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So, even though it seems like it's going to take a while, it's not going to take a while. Why? Because Yahweh Shah said that For the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, or no flesh shall be saved. Roughly paraphrasing, man. All right. So this is why we're constantly sending up them prayers, because the Lord is bringing these prophecies to pass, so we can see it. We have faith, all right, based on Yahweh Shai, all right, that these prophecies is going to come to pass in this generation based on what we see. All right. He's listening to his elect's prayers. All right, Lord willing, we have that number.
Yesterday, Vladimir Putin made a speech saying that Russia has the right to use nuclear weapons against Ukraine and against NATO if NATO uses, or Ukraine uses, NATO weapons to strike offensively inside Russia. And so things are heating up there very fast. And a lot of people, including Donald Trump Jr., many heads of state around the world yesterday spoke out and said that they believe that Joe Biden is trying to start World War III before he leaves office, trying to, as a little gift to Donald Trump, right? So that is a very serious situation. I don't think it should just be ignored or overlooked or whatever. I think it's definitely something to pay attention to, because these things could happen at a moment's notice. Russia yesterday said that they are fully ready. Their Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I think, or something like that. Defense minister, one of their ministers, stated that Russia is prepared to react immediately. That as soon as United States Western missiles launch towards Russia, they are ready to react immediately. And there has been word that Russia.
So we looking for that Black Swan event, man. Whether it be a little small pocket nuke. All right, I've been hearing talks of that. Even Elder Apostle Orion Lob, you see what I'm saying, said that in one of his videos, you know, a couple weeks back or whatever it may be. Something that we've never seen before to really get this thing rolling, man. And that's what we praying for. We looking for this thing to get rolling, because we want to be in the kingdom, man. We want a place that dwelleth the righteousness, because this place is wicked. So whatever for prophecy to, you know, Pat, which is completely against what 2/3 of our people here in Babylon the Great, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, in their wickedness, don't want. They want this thing to continue to go in its wickedness, man. All right, you got Jake wanting and loving Trump. You feel me? On one end, you got others that still wish Kamala, all right, was in wanting to, you know, unalive, you know, the what's the names in their stomach. You see, so our people is completely through, and they don't even know all of this is going on. All right, they don't watch the news. They're not watchmen, so on and so forth. And even if they did watch the news, they believe in everything that they say. All right, see, we're constantly filtering through the scriptures.
Russia has shot down some drones just this morning. Now, unsure if those are kind of part of this deal, because there have been other drones from Ukraine going into Russia, so it may not be Western drones necessarily. But that situation has become very tense and heated very rapidly. And, you know, it should not come to any surprise to all of us, because we know that, and I've said this, you've said this over the last couple of weeks, the globalists, the statists, the Marxists, they're not going to just walk away from this. They're not going to just, you know, give up because Donald Trump won the election, so it's time to just lick your wounds and go home. They're not done yet.
They're the ones that selected him. What are you talking about? All right, and all those names is like bywords or placeholders for their true biblical nationality, which are Edomites. And this guy's actually Amalekite too, and they're really Amalekites, the ones that he's talking about, okay? Because Karl Marx himself was an Amalekite, all right? But yeah.
And so that could happen. Now, shifting gears a little bit, because, well, it's now I'm going to talk bad about Donald Trump. I know that makes everyone, I'm not really, but I know it just irritates a lot of people. He's just a man, remember that. If you have faith in him, trust that he's going. I see that a lot, and that's, to me, that's the most scariest thing that I've seen people post online, is that they trust Donald Trump. They know that there's all these things that doesn't seem quite right, or these right.
That's how you know it was all orchestrated. Who is that politician that said if there's if anything happens in politics, or whatever it may be, we put him there, or it's orchestrated, something to that effect. All right. So, like he said, you got so many people on his comment boards and things that he sees that's in that conservative right wing type of viewpoint, talking point, and they over here trusting in man, trusting in Donald Eagle Face Nero J. Trump, man. All right. And you even got our people, so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, that's doing the same thing. When that's completely a sin against the Lord, according to the law, the Tawara, the Torah. All right.
I know deep staters that he's potentially have appointed, or just things that he said that this doesn't sound right, but they trust Donald Trump. And if you're in that camp, I want you to pick up your Bible and I want you to read Psalm 118, and I want you to read Jeremiah 17. Read Psalm 118 and Jeremiah 17 in regards to trusting men and trusting leaders and kings and heads of state. But anyways, the reason why I'm saying that is Donald Trump has announced that when he gets into office that he's going to declare a state of national emergency to start deporting illegals. Now, I know on one hand, part of me says that, well, that makes sense because it's probably the...
So he brought up, which is correct. You got to give credit where credit is due. Even a broken clock is right twice, all right, out the day, right? So I just looked at it, Psalms 118, right, in verse 8 and 9, right? We're going to start at verse 8. It says, "It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man." And that's correct. In the name of the Lord, the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. It's all capitals. All right. And I'm going to read the brother's precept for Jeremiah 17, right? It's verse 9. It says, "It is better to trust in Yahweh than to put confidence in princes." Okay. And that's a fact. All right. It is a fact. But he's giving, remember it says, what was that? I read it the other day. Brother, if you could post for me, Tazadata, Yabashim Yashar Brakata, man, for salvation is hopeful in vain from the hills in Jeremiah. All right, because this is how they're giving characteristics of heathen, because they're looking forward to a man to deliver them out the situation. Now that's happening also with Israelites. All right. However, you have a remnant that understand the scriptures in whole in its totality, and that Lord, that is a power to only one set of people, and specifically an elect of those people, the Israelites. All right. So, all right. So, boom. This is Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 23, and it reads, the water. Truly in vain is salvation hopeful from the hills. Hills are smaller mountains. Mountains are symbolic in the scriptures for kingdoms or governments, man. All right. And it's talking about these other nations, because the only mountain the Lord is dealing with, the only government that the Lord is dealing with, all right, is Mount Zion, to Zion, which means monument in the Hebrew, which is basically the Israelites. And in these days, it's the elect of Israel. That's the only monument, all right, or government, so to speak, the house of David that he's dealing with. So these other nations, these other kingdoms, he's not dealing with. So they're looking for salvation, but their salvation is different. Their salvation, see, so you have to know what salvation is in the first place. Salvation is deliverance from impending danger and wrath of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. So they're looking for salvation as if, keep America great again because it's our kingdom of the milk of land and honey, so we could continue to do our wickedness. Thou do as thou wilt here in America, man, because that's what these right-winger Trumpists, right, do, man. Right? They want to continue to eat they swine, right? Sing the national anthem, watching the Cowboys play on a Sunday, all right? That type six-pack Joe type shit. It says, truly in vain is salvation hopeful from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. You see, truly in the Lord, look, our God, our power is what? The salvation of who? Of Israel. So only the Israelites. All right. So they ain't gonna. The Lord is not dealing with these other nations, as we constantly, and we're gonna keep bringing it out. This is Jeremiah 17 and 5. Thus saith Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. Right. So if you go into carnality, his arm meaning your power. So you making carnality just like these right wingers, right? Oh, try that in a small town. You feel me? Like any type of oppression or martial law or racism or whatever it may be, they think that they just gonna Second Amendment they way out of into salvation. No, it's not gonna happen like that, man. All right. So according to the scriptures, all right, people that do this is cursed, man. All right. So you have a literal people that is accursed, and then those that are under a curse, which would be 2/3 of our people. All right, and then they gonna get right later on down the line. But these Edomites, they through. All right, for the ones here in America, you're gonna be destroyed. The ones outside of America, get ready for slavery. And then even the ones that's here in America, after you die through these missiles and any type of terrors and Jacob's trouble, before that, all right, you're just gonna be reincarnated back into slavery anyway. So
Only real way to be able to round up 20 plus million people and kick them out of this country. But on the other hand, it makes me really uncomfortable because the state of national emergency, I mean, it's not martial law, but it's almost martial law.
look, you got Edomites now talking about like, yeah, even Trump now, who he probably voted for, all right, is he's seeing it. He can see it. The type of power with this national emergency, and you bringing military in now, you setting up the stage. Matter of fact, let's get Isaiah 10:1. Because if he's saying he's going to do that, all right, that means it's already prescribed. He already got it written out. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. So destruction is coming unto Trump, is coming unto any of his administration, all right? And that right grievousness which they have prescribed before ascribed to right, written before time, to turn aside the needy from judgment, to take away the right from the poor of my people, the Israelites, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. You see, and that's what they gonna do, man. All right. And even on a literal note, you got a lot of children, all right, that don't have their fathers and is separated from their family members that he even talked about. Separating kids from their family members and this and that and the third, and all type of craziness is going on some left hand. I ain't even gonna get too detailed with it. But if y'all in the know, y'all know what's going on with Jake, and even past Jake, you got Chinese nationals of military age, you got Muslims, you got all type of people coming through, man. But they got the viewpoint on Northern Kingdom Jake, man. This thing is about to go down.
Understand that if martial law is just a generic term, martial law, if martial law gets declared, it's going to be under the guise of a national emergency. I've said this before. You're never going to hear a president or world leader or anything stand up and say, "I'm declaring martial law." It's not going to happen. They would declare a state of emergency. And if Joe Biden was declaring a state of emergency for any reason whatsoever, any reason, it would cause everyone to be, because it does. Every time a president does declare a national emergency, people get a little uneasy because it opens the doorway for a lot of authority. And if you have a truly honest, truly just, truly pure leader, then it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing.
You think any of these leaders in Babylon is just and good or whatever? But see, that's that. When I'll be laughing because it sounds very similar to when a woman be like, "Oh, I'm a hopeless romantic." you have hope knowing that you don't have hope in something that you really want. That's cognitive dissonance. You fucked up in the head. You know that nobody's going to give you the expectation of the romance that you want, but yet you still have hope in it. So just like how he said, he has an optimism for some type of leader in Babylon that is going to do the right thing. No, this is why, all right, her sins is reach up into heaven, pursuing the Revelation 18, man.
But it opens the floodgates for a lot of...
Oh, there go the word flood. All right, if somebody want to post that, the enemy shall come in like a flood. It opens the floodgates. Martial law open, national emergency, executive order opens the floodgates for the enemy to come in like a flood, man. You see? Because like I said earlier in my earlier video, all right, there is no constitution. The decrees has already been set. You can't take them to court because they done popped your ass in your noggin, all right, for disobeying their orders. Nah, it ain't going down like that. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, martial law.
Authority, a lot of power. And it's very difficult to put that power back in that box. Government, not just the United States, government in general, is notorious for when you give them a little bit of authority, they take it for all of it, and then they don't give it back.
He acting like men give governments the authority. No, the Most High, the Lord, gives power unto these kingdoms. All right, He sets up kingdoms. All right, like it says in the book of Daniel, man. All right, He sets up kingdoms and throws them down. But and this time He has given it unto the basest of men. All right, the basest of men.
Any time in history where government has said, you know what, because of this particular situation, we're going to take this authority, and when we're done and we've succeeded, then we're going to give it back to you. It doesn't happen that way, folks. It doesn't happen that way.
So now let's move on. I have one more video, and then we're gonna close it out. Where he at? Yeah, right here. Boom.
I say this: Trump confirms World War III to the world. I told you this and predicted this before the election. Get in your bunkers. And this is an exact quote from Donald Trump. He says, Joe Biden has authorized Ukraine. Well, excuse me, this is a paraphrase of his video here. And here, let's just play a little bit of it. It says, preventing World War III from your president, Don John Trump.
We've never been closer to World War III than we are today under Joe Biden. A global conflict between nuclear armed powers would mean death and destruction on a scale unmatched in human history. It would be nuclear Armageddon. Nothing is more important than avoiding that nightmare. We will avoid it, but we need new leadership. Every day this proxy battle in Ukraine continues, we risk global war. We must be absolutely clear that our objective is to immediately have a total cessation of hostilities. All shooting has to stop. This is the central issue. We need peace without delay. In addition, there must also...
Yes, I'm not going to play the whole thing. You guys can watch this for yourself and just follow me on X at AMTV Media. But the point is...
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, this massive, when you go into the word woe, it means to mourn. All right, and that is symbiotic with great death. Okay, so it's encompassing a mass amount of death where a lot of people mourn. All right, so the second woe, which is World War II, because millions of people, tens of millions of people have died in a short period of time where the world was in a state of mourning because of that. That passed already when John the Revelator, all right, saw it in the future, so to speak, and to where we're at right now. It says, and behold, the third woe, World War III, cometh quickly. And you can see it's coming quickly. He just said it.
They're going to take us to World War III, where Donald Trump inherits it. Again, the deep state had this all planned out years ago. It's how I knew about it. Also, Peter Thiel also warned that we are approaching Armageddon in his recent interview.
So you keep hearing this word Armageddon, all right? Armageddon is what? Har-Magadwan, which means mountain of troops, man. All right? Mountain of troops. All right? Har, mountain, Ma, like of, and God, where you get the one of the patriarchs, Gad, right? God Wan makes it plural, all right? And that mountain of troops is going to be in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh, all right? In the Arabian desert, your Western Asia, All right, places. See, the Lord is even drawing up the river Euphrates for the kings of the east to come through, man. All right, watch. We're gonna listen, and when you hear more news about that, just know this financial turmoil is about to come. I keep saying that too, man. This chip is right around the corner. I constantly listening to the financial sector. All right, the crypto, everything is about to skyrocket. Boom, everybody gonna get put on the thing when shit get bad for people out here. You feel me? And then the complete transition of the system. They saying about in March, because this is when the communications between the banks is going to go from that slow ACH automatic clearinghouse. It takes you 2 days after you pay a bill for it to show up on your account. All right, that you paid it, the money to be taken out, to milliseconds. Imagine that you paying a bill, boom, automatically it's out of your thing. It shows like it's paid rather than I gotta wait this and that and the third. You see, this everything's gonna be tokenized. They're using quantum computers. We on some artificial intelligence. Everything is gonna be hyperbolic. You see what I'm saying? As far as technological advances, they got it here. They just holding it back right now. You see, the Lord is holding it back right now. Let's put it that way. And then when He pushes His chip, which is going to be really the chip of is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's chip, but He's going to allow His sword, which is the wicked the Edomites, of this Western civilization, the mark of who? The beast, which is the Roman Empire. Now, the ancient Roman Empire, known in modern day times as NATO and the EU, with the woman that ride the beast, which is America. They're going to push this thing, man. They're going to push it, and then things is going to speed, just like Elder Pastor Tahar said. It's going to pick up quickly.
Post the election of Donald Trump, he says this in a chilling warning. Again, he's my neighbor in Maui. Quote, "The world is sleepwalking to Armageddon. Trump is better equipped to handle it than Harris, but is he good enough to stop it? I hope so, but I'm not 100% sure." So again, the most powerful, smartest, highly intelligent geniuses of the world. And Peter Thiel would know. Again, he runs Palantir. That's why I recommended the stock. It's at a new all-time high. It's made all of you rich if you've taken my advice. He runs all the military-industrial complex operations overseas right now in Ukraine. He would know. And I just want to show you guys the type of warfare that is coming to the United States and all American cities. Thousands of drones armed, autonomous, AI controlled, hacked.
You can't really see it on his phone, but this shit is like, I don't know if the brother's seen too, like, there was this fucking robot dog with wheels and shit, and it was standing on two legs going up fucking mountains and hills and yo, the type, like, when you think of Jacob's Trouble, like, this ain't no regular conventional type war. The type of shit we about to see, bro. Yo, it's crazy. It is crazy. And every country, and especially America, got these things. Like, we're gonna be talking about real live robots and robot dogs and drones and everything equipped with some super heavy artillery. And these YNSs think they little blicky going. Yo, it's gonna get wild. It's gonna get wild.
A rogue nation state controlled by Iran and the enemy. That's very loud. Basically, what I was showing there was tough to see is tens of thousands of drones launching, controlled by Chinese and North Korean and Iranian artificial intelligence, armed to the teeth, that could be sent, God forbid, into every single American city in a D-Day. Again, you think I'm joking about this stuff? I'm not. One of Elon Musk's self-driving cars locked its participants in several days ago and lit them on fire in a self-immolation. Because again, you can't trust this technology. Peter Thiel would know. He's the one that runs these operations overseas. So what we have here is World War III. You've officially entered. The Joe Biden regime has sent you all into World War III prior to the inauguration. This is also bringing up a very important point. Will we have a peaceful transference of power? If the radical left and Nancy Pelosi and Harris and the rest of these losers are now pushing us into World War III before Inauguration Day. We can make a strong argument. Donald Trump has even said this publicly, that he should start his presidency now. I want you to understand how dangerous this truly is. It's also why crypto's pumping to new all-time highs like I predicted. Because again, what do you do with your money during nuclear pre-war? You get it out of the banks before the bank runs. You get it into sovereign-controlled assets where you have personal sovereignty. And this is what we're seeing now. This is so concerning. And again, it's interesting to me because people have called me a fearmonger for years, but I just get everything right. And now it's just mainstream pop culture knowledge. Isn't that funny? I say it years ago, I'm a crackpot, but it just turns out I'm right. And now everyone's saying the same thing and parroting it like a bunch of cucks.
But the real ones that's going through that are the prophets, man. All right, I quoted it earlier in my other video, Ezekiel 33 and 33. Matter of fact, let's just go get it. Where's my sword? This is Ezekiel 33. Looks like the iPad is still bugging. Salakia. We're going to get a little bit more and close out. I don't want to hold y'all too long, man, but this is good, man, because then we are really seeing what's about to go down. Ezekiel 33 and 33. And when this cometh to pass, the prophecies, the chip being pushed, World War III, the climax of World War III with the missiles being popped off, all right, 200 million warheads connected to hypersonic intercontinental ballistic missiles, destroying America and wherever else the Lord designated for them to go. And then the Lord himself coming back, Yahweh Shai, with a multitude of angels, chariots of Israel, what the world calls UFOs or UAPs, coming to zap niggas to death and save those that listen to him, his elect. All right. Lo, it will come. See, so it's not a lie. Then shall they know, who's they? All the scoffers and scorners, that a prophet, all right, those that you see on the highways and hedges of the great millstone stock and those of the affiliate camps, if they're teaching the correct doctrine, have been among them. All right, then they gonna know. All right, because he ain't on he's trying to be rich. All right, he trying to sell, so he an Edomite, man. He an insider. All right.
Interesting, isn't it? In fact, Don Jr. Did just that. He says this. Let me see if I can find this. He says the military-industrial complex seems to want to make sure they get World War III going before my father has a chance to create peace and save lives. Gotta lock in those trillions. Life be damned, imbeciles. That comes from the inside of the Trump team with Donald Trump Jr., whom I like. I'm just pointing out these people are way behind. Again, Donald Trump once called Bitcoin a scam. I told you to buy all of it. Now they're moving in. So they're right, but they're late. I'm early. You must understand this. Same with Tezos, pumping 30% today. It's going to continue to absolutely skyrocket. So with Joe Biden's authorization, for the first time, authorizing NATO, the United States and Ukraine, to use U.S.-supplied long-range attack missiles for strikes deep inside Russia will result in nuclear retaliation. And Vladimir Putin told us this several months ago.
Происходит попытка подмены понятий, потому что речь не идет о разрешении или запрете киевскому режиму наносить удары по всей территории.
So what is Putin saying? I'll just translate. He basically says that the United States authorizes long-range missiles into the heart of Moscow, and they plan an attack, which Joe Biden just did, guys. The deep state, I mean, it's not Joe Biden, it's the deep state. Again, Joe Biden needs to be in hospice care. That's where he's headed. He's pooping his pants. He's got, blowhard diarrhea on a regular basis. My point is, Putin already said he would use nukes. Let's get to the part of the story, though, no one else will tell you. Because, again, I'm always light years ahead of everybody else before it goes mainstream. And everything. Bitcoin, crypto, tokenized real.
Anyway, that's the point, man. All right. I pretty much did a double video, 40-minute. All right. So from now until like the beginning of summer 2025, let's see, Lord willing, something gonna happen. You feel me? All this war talk, things of that nature. We know the financial sector, this transition, this change is gonna get real hectic. Things is gonna get real funny. So I'm gonna leave off on Jeremiah chapter 30, famous scripture. Jeremiah chapter 30. And I'm gonna start at verse 4. It says, "And these are the words that the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, spake concerning Israel, the northern kingdom, and concerning Judah, the southern kingdom, so all 12 tribes. For thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace," because that's what's coming. See, but the Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear. He gave us power. What is it? The Lord didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. All right, because wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. All right, the strength of his salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Verse 6, "Ask ye now and see whether a man does travail with child." A man, that's rhetorical. All right. So he being sarcastic. He like, yo, when did men start having children? Getting pregnant. I made 2 genders. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins? So yeah, so why are you moving like a woman, like when women get pregnant, the baby kicked? What women do? They hold their stomach. Oh man, oh my God. That's what men is doing. In the vision unto Jeremiah, it says, with his hands on his loin as a woman in travail, and all faces are turning to paleness. So even when the baby starts to come, the water breaks, she might be bleeding, whatever may. Oh my God, she bugging out, trying to get ready for this baby to come. This is how men is looking with paleness, shook, a shook one, no mob deep. Verse 6, no, verse 7. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, and that's what we coming to, man. It's going to be very, it's going to be a high, great tribulation for you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, man. But and that's the part that we want to be of. All right, the he in verse 7 shall be saved out of it. See, the elect, man. And this is why we give diligence to make our calling and election sure. All right, because we want to be safe. Because when they push this chip, oh man, all hell about to break loose, man. All right. So, like Elder Pastor Tahar say, man, which I don't see no other camps really talking about it. Keep your eyes on the Levant region and keep your eyes on the financial sector, man. It's pretty much symbiotic prophecies. All right. When this chip is pushed, and we're going to see all hell break out with armies over there in the Arabian desert. All right. And all hell about to break loose out here. All right. On America's soil, man. All right, and then we could basically be looking up for his redemption draw of 9. All right, Yahweh Shah gonna be coming. All right, so I'm gonna leave it on that. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushua, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushua, Brakata Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashayak, Yahweh Shai. On to the next one. Shalom to the elect, man. Shalom.